Yes, well, that Windowmaker got what was coming to her. She deserved that. Sniping up there, hiding away, trying to kill me. Wasn't going to happen. So, hello, Papa Ted, here with another guide on one of the heroes in Overwatch. This time it is Genji. So, who is Genji? What does he do? What kind of character is he? How difficult is he to use? What weapons does he have? All of this banter. So basically, Genji is very versatile. He's very good at soloing and he's very good at working in groups as well. Where his weakness lies is in his defense. He doesn't have much health, and actually in his damage output. His shurikens and his sword attack don't actually do that much damage, so quite often you can have difficulties with tank characters. He's extremely good at moving around the map, and I found that I got a lot better with Genji when I was using his wall run ability and when I was flanking the enemy team. He basically works great by harassing the enemy team, picking them off from all angles, getting behind them, trying to take out particular heroes in the other team that are maybe causing your team a lot of grief, getting in behind them and picking them out. Also, if there is a damaged enemy that is trying to run away and hide, Genji is good at chasing them down and finishing them off. He's definitely got one of the highest skill levels, I think, to master in the game, and that's why he is a difficulty level 3. And I'm by no means very good with him. I definitely got better at him the more I played, but I also find his shurikens quite difficult to aim on console because you just don't have that precision that you would have with a mouse and keyboard. So basically, like I said, he can wall run, his passive ability, which is called Cyber Agility. He can climb walls and do a double jump in mid-air, which means he can do a lot of flanking routes. Every map actually has specific areas where you can use the double jump to your advantage. There are kind of flanking routes that only the likes of Genji, Tracer or maybe Reaper can get past, and get behind the enemy team, and that's quite good for capturing objectives and harassing the enemy team. So your main attacking weapon is the Shuriken, which you throw in groups of 3. And this could be thrown either 3 in a line or a kind of spread shot like you just saw there at the end of that round against Mercy there. Unfortunately I didn't get her, but oh well. Basically it's throwing stars, and you can throw them at a wider spread like I said, and you do 28 damage at the moment per star. So if you get all 3 of them, you can do up to 84 damage, and you get 24 of these in a, I don't know if you would call it a magazine, but before you have to reload basically. Headshots do 56 damage per star, so if you can aim and get headshots, then do that. I think I have a headshot coming up here against Lucio when he comes in, and that annihilates that boy. Versus armor, you do 23 damage per star, and versus armor headshot you do 51 damage per star. Your burst fire rate, which is your R2 attack, your primary attack, fires 3 shurikens in under 1 second, 0.97 seconds I think it is, and your fan fire rate is 3 per 0.73 seconds, so that's even quicker. And against tanks, enemies that are wider than some other ones, it's good for hitting them, and especially Roadhog, and that fan fire is actually a lot quicker and good way of dealing with tanks. The reload time for the Shurikens is about 1.5 seconds. They don't fly in an arc, and it's important to remember that. They go straight to where you fire and in a straight line, they don't drop at all. There's also a small travel time for when the Shurikens reach their destination, so it's not like bullets, they're not instant. So you have to sometimes predict where the enemy is going to be. Because of the travel time, I did find that its weapon can be difficult to aim at targets from long range. He's not the best sniping hero. But you can definitely pick off stationary targets like Bastion's turret or Torbjorn's turrets. They're quite easy to pick off, but because the Shurikens don't do a lot of damage, make sure you're not standing in front of those turrets for too long. I think probably out of all the basic attacks in the game, Genji's Shurikens require the most precise aiming to master, and it's something that I'm still trying to master, and will probably take many more hours before I can master it. Second up is Genji's ability Deflect, which he uses his sword to deflect projectiles coming in from the enemy. This can be a extremely useful ability. Very powerful in the right hands. It deflects bullets, it can deflect rockets from Pharah, which is very good to know, and it can deflect arrows from Hanzo, and it can actually deflect it back into them. So Bastion, he's a sitting duck when he's in his turret form, and you're Genji and using Deflect. It can be used to shield attacks away from Genji for basic protection, like I said, or like when you're jumping around the map and there's enemies trying to shoot at you, you can just deflect it in any direction. And it only works if you can see the projectiles in view as they're coming at you, though. It won't work if projectiles are coming at you from behind or to the side when you can't see them. It's important to know as well that deflected shots will go in the direction of Genji's crosshair, so make sure you've got it over the enemy so that the projectiles go back at them. You should start getting into the habit of immediately keeping your crosshair on an enemy every time you use Deflect. I found that this helped a lot rather than just kind of aiming anywhere, although obviously if it's stopping you from receiving damage, then that's going to allow you to survive longer. Bullets or projectiles that have travel time, such as rockets, will be deflected back with the same travel time, so she could move out of the way. So some of the weapons that Deflect doesn't work against are Symmetra's photon projector beams, because that's a laser beam, Winston's Tesla cannon, he can catch Genji out quite easily, Zarya's short range beam, Meo's frost stream, which is the bane of my existence, and Symmetra's sentry turret. So basically beam weapons and laser weapons you can't deflect. Deflect is really effective against McCree's Deadeye ultimate. It can completely nullify that. Pharah's barrage with her rockets, deflect all of them back at her. Reaper's Death Blossom attack. So these are ultimates that you can cancel out just with a simple press of a button. Mei's Blizzard attack, you can actually deflect her drone that she releases, and will result in a blizzard attack for your own team, which is pretty incredible, although extremely hard to pull off. Genji's other ability is the Swift Strike, where basically you dart forward, slicing through the air with your sword or katana, and it's very good for finishing off enemies if you've already damaged them with the shuriken, or if they're already damaged. Can actually also be used for travel purposes. You can use it to leap long distances that you normally couldn't reach otherwise, and it can be used almost like Tracer's blink ability, but obviously not as often. And you can use it up and down as well, so if you aim up, do a double jump and then use the Swift Strike, you can get onto hard to reach high up places and confuse your enemy. There's some really good combos that you can do. They've different combos depending on how you're positioned from your enemies, and you should practice these. So the first of which is your close range combo, which I found really effective again in one-on-one situations. Basically, you're up close to your enemy and you do the fan shuriken melee swift strike on a consecutive motion. You do this in such a way where you fire the shuriken, then there's the animation to cancel it with the melee strike, and then just after the melee strike finished, you cancel that animation with the swift strike to finish them off. Now, against people with very low health, like Zenyatta or Tracer, you know, that 1-2-3 combo can be the end of them, but it's difficult to get right. And I don't think I've done it yet. I have tried many times but not successfully done it. There's a long range combo where after swift striking an enemy, you use the shuriken throw followed by a quick melee attack at the target. So that's basically to try and close the distance to them. Do the melee attack to animation cancel the shuriken throw, and then you can do that almost at the exact same time. The combo also does up to about 164 damage in total, but the swift strike is at the beginning instead of the end of the combo, so you know you're not going to reset your swift strike, which does reset if you get a kill with it, like I did there, and then failed into the lily pads. Dear. And then there's the instant swift strike after you've initially used it. You make an elimination after the swift strike, it resets like I said, and then you use it again immediately. So you're usually, when you use a swift strike, you end up behind the enemy, so they're confused, and then you're through them and behind them again. It's very good just for disorientating your foes, and even if you don't kill them, you can then maybe run outside, run up a wall, over and behind them, and it's just, that is the way to use Genji, is use his speed efficiently, do small damage, dart in and out, and then come back and finish them off, because they're not going to be faster than you unless it's maybe Tracer. I've had many battles with Tracer that I've usually lost. And then finally we have Genji's ultimate ability, which is fairly simple. It's the ultimate Dragonblade. He unsheaths his katana, and it lasts for about 8 seconds, and you do massive damage. Obviously it's melee attacks, so you have to be close to your targets, like you can see here, when you're capturing an objective. Why did Mei do that? Why did she stop me from killing Winston with that wall? Really annoyed me, that. Anyway, so for 8 seconds you can go around slashing up your enemies, and you can annihilate them. If you're doing the mode where you're contesting a point, you can take out entire teams if you're quick enough. You do 120 damage per slash with the ultimate ability, so use it wisely. It's all about timing with that as well. So that has been my strategy guide for Genji. I hope it's been useful. It's been a bit longer than some other guides, but he is a more difficult hero to master. Practice, 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 and you will become very effective with them. So cheers, and we'll see you in the next strategy guide. Cheerio.